Hello students, in this video lecture I am going to discuss a few operations on PO sets. Now the first operation that I am going to discuss on the PO set on a given PO set is the dual of a PO set. Now the question is, how do you define a dual of a PO set? Now given a PO set P, the first thing you have to remember about dual of a PO set is that finding the dual is a unary operation. Unary operation means that you can you require only one PO set for that. This operation doesn't require two PO sets, but generally the other operations we'll be talking of, they'll be binary operations, which means that they will act on two PO sets at a time. So coming back to how to find out dual of a PO set. So if a PO set P is given, the question is, how do you find out the dual of P, which is P dual? Now the dual of P is denoted by P dual, and when you talk of the dual of P, then the dual of P or P dual itself is a PO set. And how is it defined? What are the elements of P dual, and how is the relation less than equal to defined on P dual? Now the elements of P dual are same as the elements of P. This means that if there is some X which is an element of P, the PO set P, then it will be an element of the dual set, the dual of P as well, which means P dual. And now how is less than equal to defined on P dual? Less than equal to is defined on P dual as follows. An element X is related to Y in P dual if you have that Y is related to X in P. So this particular statement, X related to Y, will hold in P dual if the opposite statement, the inverted statement, Y related to X, holds in P. And this result is if and only if, which means that if Y related to X holds in P, then X related to Y holds in P dual. So moving by this definition, if you try to draw the hash diagram for a given PO, for the dual of a given PO set P. So if P is if the PO set P is given like this, if this is the hash diagram, then the hash diagram for P dual will be an inverted diagram like this, because here if you denote the bottommost element in P by X and this particular element on the left by Y, and you can see over here that X is related to Y. Now if X related to Y is a statement which holds in P, then the inverted statement has to hold in P dual, which means Y related to X has to hold in P dual. So you have to invert the diagram up, so that you have to bring the elements which are at the bottom, you have to bring them at the top, and the elements which are at the top, you have to bring them down. So X goes up and Y comes here, and from here you can see that this particular relation is holding, that Y is related to X. So this is the hash diagram for P dual. Now coming to the second operation, the second operation is taking the disjoint union of two PO sets. If P and Q are two PO sets, how do you find the disjoint union of these two PO sets? Now the disjoint union of the two PO sets P and Q is denoted by P union Q, and this itself is a PO set. And how is it formed? What are the elements of P union Q, and what are the how is the relation, partial order relation less than equal to defined in P union Q? Now as far as the elements of P union Q are concerned, the elements of the disjoint union are the same which are present in the normal union which we calculate, the normal union of two sets that we find out. So take the elements of P, take the elements of Q, and their union will give the elements of the disjoint union P union Q. Now find, and then the second thing is how to define the less than equal to relation on disjoint union. The relation less than equal to is defined like this. You say that X is related to Y in the disjoint union P union Q if both X and Y are elements of P and both are related in P, and or the other thing is that both of them are elements of Q and both of them are related in Q. So this particular relation which I am talking of in the first condition, this is a relation in P, this is the less than equal to in the PO set P, and this less than equal to which I am talking of, the less than equal to in the second condition, this is the relation in Q, which means that in the disjoint union P union Q, you are either relating the elements X and Y which are both in P, or you are relating the elements X and Y which are both in Q. You are not relating the elements of P and Q. You are relating only the elements of P with each other and you are relating the elements of Q with each other. So that way, if you draw the hash diagram for the disjoint union, if this is the hash diagram for P and if this is the hash diagram for Q, you just have to place the two hash diagrams side by side, and when you place them side by side you get the hash diagram for the disjoint union of P union Q, because there is no relation between elements of, we are not defining any relation between the elements of P and the elements of Q. There is no relation, we are not defining that. So disjoint union of P union Q, the hash diagram, in the hash diagram P and Q have just to be placed side by side. So that would give you the hash diagram for the disjoint union. Now coming to the linear sum of two PO sets. If P and Q are given to be two PO sets, the question is how do you define the linear sum of two PO sets P and Q. Now the linear sum is denoted by this P linear sum Q. This is the notation, and this itself is a PO set, and the elements of P linear sum Q are same as the elements of P union Q, which means that you have to take the union of the elements of P with the elements of Q. And as far as the relation less than equal to is defined, less than equal to is defined in the linear sum as follows. The three conditions, these three conditions must hold. We are defining the definition is given like this. It can happen that both of them are in P, then the elements will be related in the union. We are talking of the linear sum. The elements will be related in the linear sum if both of them are in P and both of them are related in P, or if both the elements X and Y are in Q and both are related in Q, which means that this is a relation in P and this is a relation in Q. Or it can happen that one is in P and the other is in Q. So X related to Y we are writing. So such elements, so they can be related like this. X can be related to Y provided X is in P. This element should be in P and this element should be in Q, which means that the elements of P should be on the left and the elements of Q should be on the right. Then they can be related to each other. So this means that when we are drawing the hash diagram for P linear sum Q, so if this is the hash diagram for P, if this is the hash diagram for Q, then in the hash diagram for P and P linear sum Q, of course you have to draw P and Q. This part is showing P, this part is showing Q, but because of the third condition, the elements, because we are saying that the elements of P should be on the left and the elements of Q should be on the right. Left means that in the hash diagram the elements of P should be down, they should be at the bottom, and the elements of Q should be at the top. So here we are keeping the elements of P down here, and the element and Q, this is at the top, and there is a line that we put in between them, which means that I have done something like this. This is your P, you have to take P first and then you have to keep Q at the top like this. And now because the elements of P have to be on the left, so they have to be down in the hash diagram, and because the elements of Q have to be on the right, so they have to be at the top in the hash diagram, and there should be a relation between them in the linear sum. So we draw a line between them because there should be a relation in the linear sum, so we draw a line. And now this way all the elements of P are related to the elements of Q, but the elements of P will remain on the left and the elements of Q will remain on the right. So this is the hash diagram for linear sum of P and Q. Now coming to the last operation on two PO sets. If P and Q are two PO sets, then the product of the two PO sets P and Q, which is P cross Q, is a PO set whose elements are the elements which are in P cross Q, the Cartesian product of P and Q. And the Cartesian product of P and Q, we know it consists of all ordered pairs of the form XY, where X is coming from the first set, which is P, and Y is coming from the second set, which is Q. So it is the set of all ordered pairs of this type. So the elements of the product are the same as the elements of the Cartesian product of P and Q. And now the question is, how are they related? How do we define a relation between them? An element x1 y1 of P cross Q is related to an element x2 y2, or you can call it an ordered pair. So an ordered pair of x1 y1 of P cross Q is related to another ordered pair x2 y2 of P cross Q if the first coordinate is related to the first, if and only if, this is if and only if. So if and only if x1 is related to x2 in P, because both these are elements of P, so this is a relation in P. And if the second is related to the second coordinate is related to the second coordinate in Q, so this is a relation in Q. So if such a thing happens, then you say that two elements, two ordered pairs, x1 y1 and x2 y2 are related in P cross Q. So this is how we define P cross Q, the product of two PO sets, and how to draw the hash diagram for P and Q. And in the hash diagram for P and Q, in the hash diagram for P cross Q, you take the hash diagram for P. Let's say this is a hash diagram, this is a PO set P, which from the diagram we can see it's a chain of 3 elements, because it's a linearly ordered set, so it's a chain of 3 elements. And Q is, let's say this, which is a chain of 2 elements. What you have to do is you have to take P, and on each vertex of P you have to place a copy of Q. So this is your P, and now on each vertex of P you have to place a copy of Q. So I'm placing a copy of Q, and you will place it in a tilted manner like this, and then you have to join the corresponding vertices like this. So this is what I have done. So finally this or this, both the diagrams are the same. So this represents the hash diagram for this denotes the hash diagram for P cross Q. Now this, if you just refer to these elements as, let's say x1, you can call them as x1, x2, x3, and let's say I'm calling the elements of Q as y1 and y2. So here when you are drawing the hash diagram, this is going to be your x1, this is going to be your x2, this is going to be your x3, because these are elements of P, and of course this is also going to be x1, x2, x3. And here because this is a copy of Q that you have placed at x3, this one, so this will be y1, y2, and this will be y1, y2, and this will be y1, y2. And actually these are the ordered pairs, these are the ordered pairs. This point represents this particular point represents the ordered pair x1, y1. This point, this vertex represents the ordered pair x2, y1. This vertex represents the ordered pair x3, y1. This vertex represents the ordered pair x3, y2. x3 should be first, and y2 should be like this. This vertex represents the ordered pair x2, y2, and this represents the ordered pair x1, y2. So you can see that when there are 3 elements, in P, and when there are 2 elements in Q, then the total number of possible ordered pairs is 3 into 2, which is 6. And so in P cross Q there will be 6 ordered pairs, or there will be 6 elements, and you can see that those 6 elements, 6 ordered pairs are represented over here, and the 6 vertices, each of the 6 vertices represents one of the ordered pairs of P cross Q. So that was the hash diagram of the product of two PO sets, which also gives you a brief description of what are the different operations you can perform when you are given two PO sets.